Say ye be beautiful. In your trust, to Kanya, the serving Omnia. Eddie and Ramuta, my innocence, water to say. Omano Saviano, Omano Saviano, Eyaset, Omafo Bragachre, Omano Saviano, Omano Saviano.
Timaigana ba kupe ye wobi wo baby ana debio Sikampo anu meya Adeshi maigana ba kupe ye wobi wo baby ana debio Eni ati dene atadwe asikyere ne se Ghana fo e wa broche nyina di dwumedie biaba Ghana ba kupe ayedi embrace Moses yatoano yebo sai ne se hia huni ni mudi aya kosua ne wa manone no ye nyankopon se emra so se yedi ba ye my Ghana mu be kire ne nchiri masunya ahoto enti Ghana ma ye wa manone nyina ye nka ye humomwe sadi ebe ya ye da yesu betumi abemu Edi mudi eni nyansa na kwasumu achedodo awa edi efri o mai mu kwa manone no sa na da so wa enko bebiara na ara wosam kwe wo mu ne se ye nua ma ye fenso so de kwa manone no bebre no na ri won kwa.
Well. Good evening to you wherever you are in this world. If it's afternoon, good afternoon to you. You're live on Fire One, the station for the people where the truth matters. We're really pleased to be back with you again. I wish we can do this more, not only once a week. We will plan on that, put that on our pipeline, reschedule stuff so we can meet more, talk more, discuss things that matters. You're live on the Truth Matters show. Truth matters in everything in our daily life, whatever we do. And I know you enjoy the truth. We have a lot to talk about today. Please do share the stream if you're on Facebook. Like, follow, share. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're on the radio, we do appreciate you too. Please do well to visit our YouTube channel and subscribe. We love you, and we'll be with you shortly.
Enkwasuna yasuna fedia yedi kwawieye nisramo o my bebrebe aye bia mana yeye yesu yedri yeso my Ghana yesu yebetumi aya mana yeye o my biti se Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, China, Dubai eni o my oduopi e kwa we yaso no na mo amenchiri menya woto ni na ne se Mommy and Kamomwe, no bibiara ni o beba be o my Ghana my I just say any around Grangre, Yadija to America, Sensi Agua Gospel in market trema, so say Ghana man penny when you penny for a man many now sorry waka. Naya so may mwe, near Yanko Ponfa, Mobro, or May Mobo, no man menya muto, Braye away, we back one a boy.
Well, Ghana mai yenina ye bakwa na ye prayer wo hwe wi bakwa ebu ukambo mu a emuda yenyin mpanyfo de prayer ni mabebre and it's quite interesting mema sly akwaba na maybe sano say bi onyi no hu bi eda na mi yema kwa
yeah it's na pomwe
nyame adom
Nyamiasi.
So actually,
Nyamiasi.
But Abakosem, na maybe so as I shall say the prior way. We back where Boo Cambo Mine, Boo, you know who be beside saying for FR prayer like Obi Korea there aside Bible and all that. No one time in video be with prayer now more day to find out the truth. Did you ever see anything like that growing up?
Yaka sɛm yɛka pae deɛ na adeɛ baako pɛ ne ba nipa adwene mu yɛ nka bom asɛm na ɛnyɛ wohwɛ paeɛ so ahodoɔ a na yɛwɔ a na kyɛ sɛ ano ɔde yie because yɛwɔ paeɛ tiatia paeɛ deɛ sɛbi otafrɛkyɛ na yɛma mu de twa adwaeɛ mo praeɛ a yɛde pra dɛm praeɛ a yɛde pra sɛbi abɔnten so ane praeɛ a yɛde pra efie mu so enti praeɛ deɛ sika ho sɛbi koraa first no koraa wokɔware koraa na ne ebi mu a ne agye mo praeɛ ebi mu so koraa
African Americans say Wokroma no meaning say if they still do it as traditional momo warrior the prior to her and they jump the broom or something and they do have a meaning, the reason why they do that. So I'll let you continue from there.
Acquire culture to say me funny say some of the religions, you know, and I say some of the tradition, you know, I am your bamwadia omujika. Na up to almost reasons in India, honestly, but minim say it's part of the requirement. Yema would come home, edify into money, shinap and this no money na would come be. Na nina kabum once sana work prior, your prior once more, your baby mama and as a Ghana, there's a can't kabum once just say. Who has any prior city as car here he boom. Say boom. Sadia would be priatino, a tea prior in a gum, and Casaba could pay.
Yeah.
And Sir Emma Menonso de Prat now about who you talk about some fatness. I send you by it to be part of, you know, togetherness. It is a prior dias can and couple once and now one was a ceremony kind. So what feature more. Your cousin features your car in a compound house. So who be sad now to say a dad if you be hard to say piano, I would should be first near kind of veranda. We should be veranda more. Who piano in a short so na ningina idea na nipa edigo for nkabum. Enti yaka pride ska na yaka nkabum wasem.
Yeah, nkabum. So unity. United we stand and divided we fall, right?
Yeah.
That is awesome. A friend is saying COVID. Thinking say COVID anka by now nyama I come kakra, but it seems like idea same be a different report as some fofro and yede ba efa COVID ho. Ghana memun so kwese de twemu mama mpanyin no the restrictions bebre atutu na kwemu ewo COVID ho mama ya hwe na video ni bi nsem kakra kan just a recap of it. Me hope say anka unionum Ghanaians will listen. Nanka Nyoma go back into good turn, like when things were bad, almost lockdown, yeah, there, and if no man started say from ye jo mugumu kakara no omujai mask na shape no quite like you said no more the it's like a fashion now omo de to amuchi no mu be na mo ya
Chimas
and you know saying and your face mask anymore okay it is in my area na stroke na ko after about 20 after all the holidays celebrations and things no Nyama are getting worse into these are some of the restrictions and some are not really happy with how those restrictions are. Remember I heard a video no in a little while, but I will want you to talk a little bit about it. What do you think with the new restrictions now?
Scammy fish I did back to say COVID now very confusing because I'm a dream my be brave. because omoka things related to COVID and no more ideas si wo nipadua and as a tool a chese when ya be ska bebre na sa no mani nyina so ade a na ewo ho make normally that we struggle with flu. Now, symptoms of flu, normally, running nose, headache, dry throat, dry nose, whole lot. Now, so say it's got the amana kwe in say, so say krama more heart attack krano. When your heart attack no require your hospital, and no na you can when you call say when you COVID. You know, sir. People are scared to be tested. And the body know bibi kakra bia. Now sir Ghana the air kakra but the krum has say no. Sir the moment you make us when you be no.
Yeah.
Mommy, oko China or Kratas when you be. Oko Russia or Kratas when you be. Afghanistan, the phone levels will be. Also, Ghana, no medical tracking, no, and yeah, he said, you be because mid market 37, 7 yebi. If you bear 1 month, I'm a cock of financial, open the question in yebi. So, but the thing is, people are scared of being in isolation. And the matter of fact, and also, Emma, before it's not fear about or more caught near better testimony. Two. The amount involved to be tested, and also also very high. Now, I was listening to some documentary about ECOWAS, and they were talking about, especially we are Oman Bana to Kwaya, because Scout report $150. We are Ghana, we are China, new Korea, new $150 to be tested. And what test is Wako? What test is Ghana? Uber America tested is the same 150. Let's say you're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Over America, a transaction be what I say 150. That's how I fly. Uber drop. What I say 150 or find our fly. Osama Baka. What's I say again? The burden is too high for people. But the thing is, we hear your population. In fact, honestly, it's hard to control. If I say hard to control, look at our transportation system. The way your food trotro, the way your food train, the way you see them crew, your food taxi. Scar a bed in some taxi driver. Okoye sales, is the canon, Okoye sama the car owner. Now my catch or funny pay a one for back, tis a Uber. Obet me, sir, then so a boy or bed depending to me. Indeed, as a taxi driver, no year Juma. Also, young says, into your family, year Juma. A beer, yeah, Central Market. Manusus so name Cassette, I minor. Name of no scar, so when down, Kayatia, when a Makala, when no Kashi market, when down, I have a book market to be a wood down our Ghana beer. Scar, Yatata so. Yatata so. Especially say Ghana see a tour. Yatata so. Indeed, to exit from the market in the Kurano, says written in Yajuma. And moreover, Ubeda says it Yajuma. Oh, indeed, me feel some run by Dodona Akasa, I am sorry, no, for that 2 hours, no. I don't know if it's some of the churches and some of the activities, no. 2 hours, no. Scar me feel say from kakra.
Right.
The bit say
young head na video no young head in some more kind na young transfer here.
Okay.
Restrictions on our daily routines helped in reducing the prevalence of the pandemic in the country. to reintroduce some of these restrictions in order to help save the situation. I know these measures in the recent past were unpleasant, but over a period, they resulted in a favorable situation for the country. We have to return to them. So, fellow Ghanaians, until further notice, funerals, weddings, concerts, theatrical performances, and parties are banned. Private burials with no more than 25 people can hygiene and mask-wearing protocols. Beaches, nightclubs, cinemas, and pubs continue to be shut. Our borders by land and sea remain closed. All workplaces, public and private, must employ a shift system for workers, in addition to the use of virtual platforms for business or work. Conferences and workshops can take place with all the appropriate protocols. However, I encourage the use of virtual platforms for such engagements. Restaurants should provide takeaway services and should, as much as possible, avoid seated services. The National Sports Authority and the Ghana Football Association should ensure compliance with the 25% capacity rule in our stadia, with spectators respecting the social distancing rule and wearing of masks. To the revered leaders of our religious organizations, that is our churches and mosques, I entreat you to enforce to the letter the protocols relating to attendance, i.e. the 2-hour duration, 1 meter social distancing, mask wearing, use of sanitizers, and the presence of Veronica buckets, liquid soaps, and rolls of tissue paper. I note that since the reopening of our schools 2 weeks ago, we have witnessed only few reports of cases among students. I appeal to school authorities and teachers to enforce the guidelines provided by the Ghana Education Service, and I urge the Ghana Health Service to continue their surveillance at the schools so we can contain any reported cases. As we step up public education and enforcement of the protocols and public gatherings, let me also state that regulatory agencies will undertake random checks to ensure conformity with these rules, and the security services will be tasked to enforce them. You do not have to be arrested by the police before you wear your mask. Your workplace should not be closed for non-conformity with the protocols. If there's no urgent reason for you to be outside, please stay at home. Each one of us can help to contain the spread if we continue to practice the measures of social distancing, washing our hands with soap under running water, refraining from shaking hands, and wearing our masks whenever we leave our homes. These measures must be respected by all. I urge you, my fellow Ghanaians, to continue to pay attention to your health, improve your fitness levels, and eat our local foods that boost your immunity. Should you at any time feel unwell or exhibit the most common symptoms of COVID-19, such as fever, dry cough, tiredness, please report to the nearest health facility and get tested. COVID-19 tests are free for all Ghanaians at public health institutions. If a Ghanaian citizen returns a positive result, the cost of care at isolation and treatment centers will be borne by government. At the 58th Summit of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government, held virtually, it was agreed that the cost of the COVID test for inbound ECOWAS nationals be pegged at 50 United States dollars at the Kotoka International Airport. The cost of the tests for non-ECOWAS nationals still remains 150 United States dollars. ECOWAS nationals and travelers who test positive will bear the cost of the mandatory isolation and treatment. Ghanaian nationals, however, who test positive upon their arrival into the country will have their isolation and treatment costs borne by the state. Fellow Ghanaians, in update number 21, I indicated that Ghana is set to procure her first consignment of the COVID-19 vaccines within the first half of this year. Since then, a lot of work has been done towards the realization of this. Our aim is to vaccinate the entire population with an initial target of 20 million people. Through bilateral and multilateral means, we're hopeful that by the end of June, a total of 17,600,000 vaccine doses would have been procured for the Ghanaian people. The earliest vaccine will be in the country by March. The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, will use its established processes for granting emergency use authorization for each vaccine in Ghana. As President of the Republic, I assure you that only vaccines that have been evaluated and declared as safe for use in Ghana will be administered. Government will continue to monitor our COVID-19 situation and will remain resolved in ensuring that we are able to return to normal daily routines. I remain hopeful that if each one of us embraces fully the safety protocols and we continue to put our faith in the Almighty, we will emerge strongly from this pandemic. And ifibra minimo kasaya no na otwemi no nie yare no eyi huba fa na efa nipa nisramo obi amfa yare no ndi agro mundi hihye no so ni titio mo hye mask no eno ene beboaye
eno ene beboaye. I sure hope say anytime President Bema Abdi-Biano, the comment come, critics here and there, all over. But Sankayon Nebe take this COVID stuff seriously. Na yedi mrani shisha yoswa. Ankadi wenanka was say you to me are fighting it off long time ago. Despite like situation of housing and everything in Ghana marketplaces, but all this conspiracy theory and the fake news and all those falsehood that are going around with this COVID. Some don't believe it's real. Some believe say it's spiritual. It been taken it serious. So that is where we are right now. But if Sankayen Yinaya di Emrane so. Now ye wafe mudia anka we should have fought this thing off long time ago. Anka yem train red 2021 mu ama a variant won't come out of it that is still killing people. It's even worse than the COVID itself. I need your reaction to this.
Aska President Okasa Bebre na shisha odi ato no adoso bebre na utie actually no nsem no kind debate Isaba. I mean on the things that he did lockdown what to so na me fan say na bemu no
yeah
wo ma mo shembra no so de mo ye no a na ayasem busa say adentina we move say na 88 minutes. Me can say, look at how many parliamentarians do we have? 275, right? Just the parliamentarians. You talk about the speaker, you talk about the clerk, you talk about the press, you talk about the party reps, each party reps. You talk about individuals who just want to walk in and just watch and listen to the proceedings. So you go to the Parliament House in a section. You won't get less than you get a minimum between 300 to 500 people in the building. Good. How many hours did they spend over there?
They spend hours.
Yes. Sometimes they spend over 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours in a particular debate. I understand they have the mask on, but when they are talking, the mask is out. What I say? In the view of that, some of the parliamentarians in the Kuramanya BTA speaker on Thursday, and he was so aggressive. And he says, they have tested some of the parliamentarians. What I heard is over 50 of them, over 50, or my tested positive. But because of the shameless, not to let people know, they're still coming to the parliament.
Really?
What is this? Yes. What is disgrace? What was Sam Some a crumu at Mamu for ending Maranoso. While Casa wouldn't Maranoso. Why are you really be scout? And Mara says a winner be isolated impo. If you want to Mumporia say, or push your phone and Mara. I don't hear Mara. Yes, we are saying
and no cry we for no cry they also have to isolate and being quarantined say will be a wolf a test positive or more feel should also stay at home
14 days I universal law.
Yeah,
I will we are singing and sad what badana one castle motion maran maye Nigeria is a president in Zambia work piano. Okay, the parliament now police for my enforcing law. So as a parliamentarian, you are watching said the police officers will force the law for the civilian or the citizen people to follow, to abide the law. But one case I wouldn't now as a parliamentarian when you are now the parliament now it's so shameful.
Wow. Okay, Yembra schools ne so I know some schools say almost social distance, say almost share mask and this with that being said, Ghana heat Nekrano, I know it's really hard to worry in heat because like over here during the summer it wasn't easy. It was tough for everybody. But we had to go through it and now we're in winter. So I say you're okay, Kakra, we try to balance it. And very soon we'll go back to summer here and we'll still face the same thing. Equality Betna school demo for how many hours and how are they going to do this? I even got a report that in Equality Bipon school they take it off and so they don't even know say school no or in the classroom no they wear the mask or not, and I haven't heard any report with that, but we'll check out with our reporters out in Ghana very soon. They'll be calling soon to give us a report and see what is really going on. And also the fee for testing. In Ghana, they say in COVID, no, it seems like and also corruption and bribery ni be akko a honomo side. Nikase no say you're free. The testing is free for all Ghanaians. How true is that?
Ska, you're kind of correct. You're kind of correct. You catch Ghana and some no, they tell you what you can. Our media and then you can. Our facility. So
reports are and so say call clinics testing place say test kits ni ho. But when you give them money now be right?
Oh, Scott, this is how people are going to use, or this is what people are going to do. When I perform a year, I was hired you. Sending here every children no. Now one farm mask, I'm gonna make a choice. So one dress can I one chair braba bobia. One over sham wo. I don't see about your massy and find out free. But so one fuck a cat 20 Ghana so people to walk. Over show one wo. Because car and say, okay, will say binu. Also call for also other hospital may be but I know this is small be my neck of a car. I don't cry be a channel beba. Into say oh yeah, opening then they say yeah, open transport to be more big for back.
Are they buying see free for all Guineans say oh my name.
Scare me make a choice say insure no kura na insure omo try feel lockdown na abani insure cha omo kwa na bit ye GB mula water bill.
Sir?
About the TV show. obi ehu obi ate the radio obi da banse ebi so ba pe one need your more can you retin as near the water be command bi so mutua one na be twa nso
wow
na confirm oh yeah some of the government workers are so wicked to the point that so one money bibia which is so bad. Recently, let me say this. There's a person, one of Ghana need free ako Ghana. Ska, or the normal the car, and or the ako. Or the normal go what Tom and sa, and mom you know. Why you duty what you be custom officer says so I'm a mono bako. And one back on sack or more release. What kind of wickedness?
You know, why do they want to shop out of people's things?
What kind of wickedness? What the better report? What tear the advance on TBA with cheering in her. They saw the gossiping like the agent imagine the Democrat custom officers, my Jeffrey agent, but you
one mammy,
I do no man or Shaka, no Meguna, the dish and one near you. One mammy more one back near one gun on the back. I tell you, sir, and won't be a son, I want you know. I depend the court, none of the most Nabusha for Dino. So I won't be about so we'll sell release from Naman, can't appear free pot on the one side.
Now, I was say a buying a share now or you be why because Obi or be our shipping name and no be na a din in your ma a crown, right? And or the many panel. Now, bed do know what tria home yen from the topic there, but then nice work talking about what you and in your ma in area now or deco. Na customer officer say maybe be one man be an man corner. Oh no, actually my dream. It makes no sense to me. And why is it that it's still the same up to date? Nothing has changed.
Scott, yeah, my make a big show. Sometimes you know they will force you to do something. They'll put you in the corner. Especially when they realize that one thing crime and I want to tell them. Maybe I will be I would cook my so they call Sunya. Now, if you say, when we get to Accra, you know, we are in a hurry. If you open 10%, give us sound here.
Yeah.
Sister, how cry about your friends last, about last crowds. You will intentionally delay you.
Yeah,
to make it mad.
Yeah.
When or who shall go for also okay, values look like Boma cry, get values papa, make up values for from. And the idea which are 1 million, one should be covered from, or say, well, normal power money here, ya job penalty, ya you say, ya values now, dear, and values. Now, a beer, my father saying, I'm here, you want to not pay back. Or listen, you may be a pain in him. No cry, the braca.
You know, this must stop. I think we need to do a whole show too on the ports and harbor issues.
But so, in order not to deviate from what we are discussing, I mean, just as a bishop will be as a bit. We're talking about the fee. Fee, what can cry say, oh, Ghana, and now say, Ube, do $50. $50,
so that
$50
does it cover Guinean citizens abroad? Almost $50. And I say, you have to be within the EcoWorks. How is that? Because
Sky, your password, they say, you know me into your password, and they tell me you're free. Now you could do airport who lie with the one. And I left it. Well, do a one young so most foreign and international for travelers.
Even though you're Guinean citizen, they say what I'm foreigner, so can one
and Fakasana walk on no show. But see, in the way, no. As I said, Kakasana walk on. And no idea day. That's so people were booed, you know. The person will put over there about $150. No, I took 50 or. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I took 150. I can't just a foreigner. But the bishop when they can cheat, when they can cry, when they can find it.
All right, maybe see it this audio it happened. I think the last time you talked about it, a guy from UK also Oko na All right. It seems like that audio is not ready, so we will do that later.
Mame ka school no ho some
All right.
kakra. A school for no me feel say a teacher for no yade. Ska na me ndu konye ka say teacher for no any school authorities no they will get us 100% up to how the kids no kwara no betimi follow the hygiene protocols no. And now say the kwara no so be di omohuni na social distance no be ye ska ebe ye din. Yɛnhwɛ na me ade ba kwa ne ba mtum sɛ kama ka bi school no ma mienu na sɛ ka ba ne hwɛ na ka wode to akwam especially nkora na mo primaries no na ka wode to akwam mo because ka wo hwɛ ewie sɛ de esi boyi na nkora ne chakra so na masesa hwɛ mo ska wo mo bette
Asem.
ya kora po na to da ha no tie condition no kora na wo mete ti na ka me hwɛ sɛ ka bi aka ba no ebema school for no bia obeso masene kakra you will just support them with bia anya condition kwa ka bia classroom bia fine bi wo ho na ka fine no ye dey ebo so they at least obu bie windows na ka fine so the fresh air dey dey from the pa mountain there ba me nim se bia exercise say no ho dia me tin say obi so ska na me hu say obi adia ba social media ka so school we mu dey okwa say ni say ba Sanka ya dia kasa hyehyɛ ne ba in fact kaka beboa me fi sɛ teacher for ne boa wotie radio na wohwɛ media na wohwɛ sɛ deɛ kind of protocol de aba nkwara ne wo bro nsa ha chansa mo bomodin sɛ social distance yes ɛyɛ adwuma but ewu sɛ nkwara de ma me ɔma break o sɛ ɛyɛ ball mbobɔ sɛ apia mbobɔ sɛ ɔmo bɔ kwa no mo nyɛ ya wo sɛ nkwara mu kusku ya na wa twetwe ase ekwa ne ya twetwe obi ni aso obi mu no obi sa obi na so mu di agro na we diwe achi na we tito na we so mu pega oh sa dia ne dey ska entimi free mu because that's our culture and I know the nature of nkwara kusku but me feel say the sad thing is nkwara ni bi efri ase enya bi the last time I met you know that's since nkwara 12 was say which is so bad because catching quarantine there we are in trouble and as we are in danger but I believe sir in the nationwide no the number is not bad and then the way I teacher for 2 years no in fact my idea na me sure my idea pa na mo ko so na ya amomwa kwara no na e show no hit no and the max no and then na me feel say ska I know the man kwara no na as time goes on they'll be used to but anybody we here mbeyi nobody as mbeyi dia catch nobody as kakra sabat kakra ebeye na mesre say yedi mbra no so say ya president Canada enye nationwide ska enye se bia ya kase enkofukuo bi etimi nye sei na enkofukuo bi de ombetimi ayi sei eyesa na antwaye nti se sebra no dia ne yegyina ni mra no so na afi bibia enye wano anase tuto na kwaso
all right
the kaka first schools
first schools that sounds good this weekend so election 2020 election petition na watwumuni nyina no omot na so ewo Supreme Court Ghana na somebody de ebebre ebiati ebintibi omo tie omo news source and update from Fire One, and as always we promise to bring you the best, and we have some that we will show and discuss. When the lines open, please do well to call, bring your thought, your views. That really helps not only this program but Ghana and the interest of the nation as a whole. Whatever we talk about here, I know they listen and they hear us, and changes will come. The more we talk about it, the more we keep pushing, the more changes come. But what I always do say is say change in a baby because everybody is crying for change. It has to start from each individual. It should start from Yankasayo. Always use the golden rule: do unto others what you have them do to you. You can't just treat anybody the any way you want and expect them to treat you right or treat you well. Just like you can't end a corruption, Ghana corruption, Africa is corrupt. this, that. So corruption in between individuals now. So to for answers all my dream, answers all my understanding of things, and things continue to be the same. No change will come. But if we want things to be better, it should start from each individual. That is how change can come in that country. It seems like all the time you depend on government. And I buy and me say, and I buy and me say, I buy, bra buy all the time. You blame on the things I buy. I was through, and it is really what talking about. Bra buy say. So yeah, you call aqua video. Court or near my ACC during the week. The witness response, they were cross-examined on witness statement, the things that happened. More munim say, "Abey your toy, munim near koye." Okay, no one some be accepted defeat. Life goes on. 4 years will come and check because your show 10 years cry now, a beba. No matter how long it takes. Nanka mako no mako tutu munyeme ye as a party ma I shisha munyema mo hu a game mu a plan, then you plan well and come the next 4 years. But my yantum with the mempene where I am say wait to me nipa tie gumbontin so e bi stores ya no market ye ya tom demonstrations are horror e bi a prepara e bi wu minim say even crowd. Through that, no COVID numbers now cost no far free. Those demonstrations now cause so Ghana no, and internal COVID numbers no, I caught near no, and people are losing their lives through all of that. But people won't admit, say, will be rebene no that protest nibi account internal area na koso, and those things are spreaders of the area no, where more people gather. Share mask and their videos need to be to prove it. Most of them were not wearing it, and that is how Yariana is spreading. Then you'll be no good immune system as Yariana bona or best survival. In some court, if you're witnessing some more mokano, wasting taxpayers' money, sika and combat to me the ayam puntujuma mining. To say to provide funding for schools to get proper air circulations while they are in classroom, try to get them fan or staff to regulate the air in there for purify the air for students to be able to learn. We could have used that money for that, but instead there are some court whilst you know your facts. Waste of money and waste of time. Let's watch this.
As a percentage total valid votes of 13,119,460. What percentage do you get? The percentage obtained, I obtained, assuming these figures are all correct, 51. Assuming the tallies are correct, yes, then the percentage comes up to 51.302%. By the way, have you provided any evidence in your witness statement, or is there any figure in your witness statement which is saying that this figure is wrong? It's a figure of 6,730,000. My Lord, we tendered in regional policing for Eastern region to demonstrate that those tallies there, the tallies that were arrived at were not exactly reflecting the votes. We come to that tally in due course. But I'm telling you that even that tally, assuming it is right, will not make a difference as to whether or not certain respondents cross the 50% threshold. But we can't that. So now, from your Exhibit B, the petitioner obtained 6,213,182.
Yes, my lord.
Now, can you tell the court what that figure is as a percentage of the 13,119,460?
If the tally for the petitioner is correct as stated here, the percentage will come to 47.359.
No, but even if it is not correct, that is it. Because this, we are talking about
47.359%.
So whether correct or not, that is the percentage, not it.
That is the percentage reflected in these figures.
Yes. Now, so I'm putting it to you that here again, your petitioner has not crossed the 50% threshold, more than 50% threshold.
According to this data, yes.
And now, you notice that these figures on Exhibit B, your Exhibit B, do not contain the specimen South figures. Not so.
Yes, madam.
So what the chairperson of the first respondent said on 9 December was that if you were to add the whole registered voter population of Petiman South to your petitioner's total valid vote, it will still not make a difference as to who has crossed the threshold. Is that not so?
Yes, my lord.
Is that not correct?
She said so.
But is that calculation not correct?
Unless I calculate.
Okay, so I'll take you through it. So, you are invited to add the total voter population, registered voter population of Petiman South, which is 218,000. 128,018 to the 13,119,460. Please, I know what I'm doing. I'm prepared for this thing. You add the total voter population, registered voter population of Petiman South, to the total valid votes here, which is 13,119,160.
My lord, when you add the total registered population of Petiman South to the 13,109,460, yes, I got the figure 13,247,478. And
what figure did you get?
13,247,478.
Now,
okay, then let's do it again.
Now, can you tell the court what is the percentage of the second respondent's 6,730,587 of that figure. Got it wrong. My Lord, it comes up to 50.806%. If you add the whole of Petiman South votes to the petitioners' valid votes as of that time, tell the court how much it comes to. Petitioners' valid votes as per these figures. Yes. That is 6,213,182 plus 128,018.
Well, let's look at it out of it once. We let our mathematician do his calculation. Maybe they didn't get it right to begin with. Why should he take a courtroom for you to do your tally over there to tell the court what your numbers were? Could it be said Ndc for no omo uncle your numbers right, or they didn't get their numbers, or what went on?
Ndc provided numbers here, and the debate.
We used some of their numbers that they did orchestrate this and went for this professor from University of Legon. I don't remember what his name was. Said all of this with these numbers they put out there, saying the EC have changed numbers here and there, and that at that time, they changed their tone. Say Ubia and we need election, and there should be a runoff.
Yeah, that was the petition of the court, So the funny thing is that based on their figures, Ubi and 50%, And you're saying, sir, based off your numbers, Ubi and 50% now. Again, original so. Until the original so, and I said they were who, and I they were and say, Ubi and 50%. Fatiga. Na yehu se ebia isi krata omo numbers o manyani because ska oko isi website any nyina bu ho omo print sheet ni nyina calculation ni bu ho their party bi enya total vote cast rejected ballot and then the valid nyina bibia bu ho you go from region to region to region to region as you see no to cry person e calculation na e bet back Yes, database near you go where yaba obey bibia no what numbers
out there because of social media and internet. People have access to everything is out in the public.
Obi, but to say problem I want obia kasa obia bisa 170 say Ndc for figures no way and now say their figures no munya ya enuntino also be again. Now, we just say the petition for the first witness, and the second witness, The first witness, which is as I said, as Nikatia was talking, he was talking and dealing with figures.
Yeah.
When you talk about Mr. White as a witness statement, he was talking about acts or whatever instructed. He was using those two words. Instructed to step out or to get out from the EC office so that the declaration will go on.
Why is that?
So because or see when some of the regional numbers was coming on, some of them Roger signing, but after that was signing we so this is the argument or signing on the forms if Roger never a fashion bar yema or ya copy ma obi your copy ma obi then what corresponding with regional free by say example if Eastern region no now what fair or rep or home size okay yeah more fashion no Kufo de say Mahama ya say Dum ya say Obi ya say now I confirm everything on the forms into a confirm now now you more fast by no sign or receive here then you have to sign. But according to Mr. White testimony, said, "Tamwa, any Mr. Ranger Sudia would have to say some of them no or some way no." And some was attacking and said the numbers are different.
And how possible?
I need Namia Mandania is a bit free, Mr. Yano. I don't know.
Okay. Let's hear what he has got.
What you call it? Say easy. Mane James said, was I Nelson also what you said when they have to discuss her, then he's going to challenge the thing. But I tell Bako who said the forms no no agree. You put your comment over there. You have to write a statement on the forms. It's not said who keep something in your mind, but you have to document. Until you would document it, and also I tell you I'm there say na moka but the yintu my side they want me yintu jami yintu me say figure e be skanya e say na emu say na mo dia hye ho e figure say me nyae e say na emu say e be ska dia mu di dia ka ne dia ho side dia no mate so entino the my side dia na so me yintu.
Okay, let's listen to what
867. I don't know whether that is. As you can clearly see that, please, my Lord, give me just one moment to give me a minute to check something.
From across the world to go help our brothers, the NDCs, to try to figure out their numbers, and that makes it quite interesting. This is quite serious. Really serious.
As a son, what you say? We have Richard testimony na or diakona, witness statement on diakona. Say petition na kasa na ina original so obi again esisa say we are going into a scenario say the EC officer no send them out of the EC officer
867%. That's all. Yes. So you can see that if you add the whole of Petiman South registered voter population to the petitioners' total valid votes and calculated the percentage, you get 47.67 for the petitioner. If the figures are correct, yes, but the problem is with the changing figures.
We'll come to that.
Don't worry. New figures in mind. Don't know which one you are using. Don't create problems for your heart. We'll get there. You see?
Well, I want you to pause it right there. Pause that video right there. Don't create problems for your heart, my man. Mr. General Mosquito, don't create problems for your heart. How hard is it to calculate things? And how come say NDC for no collated numbers no into me and your figures right?
and kept saying and kept arguing and wouldn't tell their people the truth.
Scarce say, I'm with you question about the authenticity of the numbers. Because the day of declaration, Jemensa at the figures, the total value a buy. The next day, they came and said, there was a mistake on the declaration. Now, they used the total value vote, total vote cast, and the bar percentage. Instead of, the total value, vote cast, it consists of the valid votes and the rejected vote, Yes, as I say, many rejected votes free. Before say we're using the value there, and pronounce the total. Now also correcting the mistake, on her pronunciation again, also can also can it is say or winning figures or they declare. But the thing is when you look at who go to our database now, you realize these errors, even though the woman was making the error the second time.
She's saying something else, but the figures show another thing. I get that.
Yes.
But what she's saying and what it's in the data now are two different things. So in the data, what is it saying? Does it say we have a winner here or not?
I said, Obidi Adiamau. Oh, the number amount. Number or share. Also, Oscar, at the end, 69. And the system demand. Indiana, watch your 96. But oil and Wadanino. As this can answer Kawina total idiot. That's a Kawina 69. Intimate sister now, number. But one castle times 96 no the man. So Wadanino.
Yeah.
But one castle I didn't crown. So we are no swap. Utmusa mamma and number no idea. What Danino? The number say Fina no bas 69. Dear 69 92. Even though a man 96, but to make a 69. So these are another idea akoso. Now also a course a day to see that is what they are challenging.
Okay, I understand you're challenging that, but my question here is what she's saying is one thing and what the data show is another. So now can data no answer, but data no they na yet the valid no. Does it show a winner here?
Also, they also challenging some polling stations and stuff from Eastern region, which another is also have two results. So the first one, which was signed, and then this first another one, which was not signed, and then they said figures but the second one came in to correct the first one. But with that in the first and the second one, the difference, I think the difference was 4,000 or something. But when you look at the petitioner and the petitioner or the coin, he quoted something like 6,000 something. And then a Senator Wooten statement also quoted like 4,000 something, which was a two different things. Now, the funny thing I am a minimum court when you're talking about figures in court, and then you're talking about sample, which I know the court deal with evidence. And then the evidence should base on fact, right? And then you're telling the court that it's a sample. I want to know how the court will receive that statement, because you can't go to court with a sample. You go to court with the evidence, and then the fact. Because now you formation, resource, it's based on UCDA.
Okay, so let's speak facts here. Do our NDC's brothers, do they have evidence?
Yeah.
They do have evidence.
Do they have evidence?
Evidence, yes.
They have an evidence, but the evidence they get, I'm not sure say it proves say one, Omune winning here, and that's a two, Obia winning. Because of the evidence, they have the evidence of the results, of the figures. Because the theory said, when we call election commissioner, some of them and some of the numbers, some people, they take the figures right from the polling station all the way to the regionals, all the way to the strong room.
Yeah.
So BBC said they know. Even one vote, they know. The vote by cooperative field, they get from the particular regional winning. Why? Because the commentary said you two abani we are no mubu banwa. Till the radio station the moka. Polling station 2. This is provisional. LPP this, NDC this. The other one no maka. We are go maka polling station we no. America they are called regional correction. And then you see they have rep on all these places, which are correction also. At least somebody come on nipa two over there. What I'm saying is the NDC have the evidence. Not the evidence.
No, but is it because they are not presented their case well, or because I'm getting two different things here? First, almost say winning.
Yes.
As time went on, they changed and said, winning. The second responded, who happens to be the sworn-in president, the incumbent, we're winning.
Okay.
Now, there should be a runoff because of being that 50 plus 1.
Yes.
So, see, my argument, no. Say, yes. EC changed numbers different times. Maybe see a quote second witness no so or no so some kakra, and maybe this will help us figure the whole thing out.
I, Dr. Michael Pesa White,
do swear by this cross.
Do swear by this cross.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
In this case.
Shall
be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth. So help me God.
SOC, my loss in English. Please give your full name.
My name is Michael Pesa White.
And what do you do?
I teach at the University of Ghana, Lagos.
Now, in this matter, in this petition, you have written a witness statement on behalf of the petitioner. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And your lordships, I believe, will adopt that witness statement. Pesa White, on the 9th of December 2020, you were at the headquarters of the first respondent. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord. I was there from the 7th of December to the 9th of December 2020.
You were there with Rojo Metununu. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Both of you were there as the representative of the petitioner. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
On the 9th, you granted an interview to Kwesi Parker Wilson of an Accra-based radio station. Is that correct?
That's correct. I granted an interview to TV station.
Now, in that interview, you stated that your party had dictated some extra 390,000 ballots in the Ashanti region overnight. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
In that interview, you also stated that the NDC is disappointed and dissatisfied about that and some other processes of the EC. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
In the interview, you also said that some of the pink sheets that were coming in from the regions had tallied. Others had not tallied. Is that correct?
My lord, my recollection is that I indicated that some of the regional summary sheets that were coming in, the tallies were not adding up.
Now, in that interview, you also said that in as much as the EC is trying to improve its processes, it does not need to outsource efficiency and accuracy to the regional directors. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, are you aware that under the rules that governed the 2020 7th December 2020 elections, the regional collation centers were introduced by law?
I am aware, my lord. And what I meant by the statement was and is that under the regulation CI 127, regulation 4410, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, who doubles as the returning officer for the presidential election, was required to be in the collation room with us as the regional summaries were coming in, so that together with her we will go through, and where we have concerns we will together ascertain what the concerns were, arrive at conclusions before we could move on to the possibility of Form 13. That, as at the time I was granted the interview, never occurred, and indeed it never occurred up to now.
Now, Dr. Pesa White, are you aware that your colleague in the headquarters on the 9th, Mr. Rojo Metununu, certified some of the regional presidential summary sheets that came from the regions? That's the Form 12s. Are you aware?
Yes, my lord, I'm aware.
Can you tell this honorable court those forms that were certified by Mr. Rojo Metununu?
Yes, my lord. My lord, if you, with the greatest of respect, allow me, I'll refer to my file.
My lords, which document is the witness referring to?
I want to just be sure my lords give the correct regions. It's certified Upper East, Upper West, Volta, Oti, Ahafo, Northeast, Northwestern, Western North, Western region, Bono region, Central region, and Ashanti region.
So, in spite of the concerns expressed in your interview, your colleague certified the form from Ashanti region. Is that correct?
That's correct. But, my lords, when the Ashanti region summary sheet came into the room, both of us there were representing the candidate, the petitioner in this case, and the political party. We consulted with the party at the regional level to find out what exactly was the situation as far as their computations were concerned. On the basis of what we were told by the party representatives at the region, we certified. Thereafter, we got information from the party at the national level when I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary of the party that the figures the party had collated was far less than what was indicated on the summary sheet that we had certified. And I brought that issue to the attention of the EC officials in the National Coalition Center.
Now, the party representative or the petitioner's representative in the Ashanti region who certified the form before you also certified in Accra is called Boja Jemfi. Is that correct? Ernest Boja Jemfi, is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, at the time you certified the 12 forms, that at the time Rojo Metonunu certified the 12 forms, you confirmed from all your regional representatives from the regional coalition centers before you certified. Is that correct?
My lord, I need clarity on the question. Are you asking with respect to Ashanti or with respect to all the other regions?
With respect to all the others that you have just told this court that Rojo Metonunu certified.
Yes, my lord.
Good. Now, let me ask you, was this the first time you were representing the petitioner in the strong room of the EC?
Yes, my lord.
Did you undergo some form of training as part of the learning process?
Yes, my lord.
Did you familiarize yourself with the rules under CI 127?
Yes, my lord.
You are well aware that for the purposes of our elections, declaration of results start from the polling station. Are you aware?
My lord, as far as I know, to the best of my knowledge, the declaration of presidential results only happens at the national level by the returning officer of the presidential election.
Now, at the polling station, when the voting comes to an end, the ballot boxes are opened in the presence of the EC officials and the agents of the presidential candidates. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And in the presence of the agents and the EC officials, the ballots are counted. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, when the ballots are counted, the entries are made by the EC official on Form 8B. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And each party's agent is given Form 8B when it is filled out to to endorse. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, when the party's agent fails or refuses to endorse, he has to actually state the reason for his refusal on the form. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And thereafter, each of the representatives of the presidential candidates present are given copies of this Form 8B. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Good. Now, we then move to the Constituency Coalition Center. The representatives of the presidential candidates are also there when all the Form 8Bs are put together and entries are made on Form 9 and 10. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And again, when your representatives are there, they are given the Form 8Bs to Form 10s and 9s to look at and sign onto it. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
If they are dissatisfied, they are required to indicate their dissatisfaction on the form and state why they are refusing to sign. Is that correct?
That's what's supposed to be, my lord.
Good. Then we now move to the Regional Coalition Center. There again, you have representatives there. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And again, the constituency forms are entered on Form 11 and Form 12. And again, we go through the process of either signing or refusing to sign and stating reasons. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And copies again are given to the representatives. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Good.
All right. So in this case, you don't have any case. Because all your reps did what they were supposed to do. So why are we here?
Ska answer may make a sentence be said. Party obeko election biani so olusu so renew on maybe we figure from the polling station. Ska aya regional amanya national a polling station. It's a make say when the media when they go over there they start their results from the polling station. It was a police station A, police station B, police station C. No it before the party people who say well lose or win, the figures is not from the regional. The figures is not from the national strong or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Figures no or we know from the police station.
That is it.
What's the worker? You're too about here. It's coming to one look after.
Yeah, go on.
What's the worker? You're too about here. Figures no you room first from the police station.
So they don't have a case. That is what I keep saying. They only case here. Because how much I say once inside BBA, ya bear announce accept defeat life goes on. Go back, do what you were supposed to do that you didn't do, and come back again in the next 4 years. But yeah, there are some way court. Yeah, drag it and away on your way. Any who ballot boxes waha, any idea beka home, any free ha, any see ha. What difference would that make? Why didn't you do it the same day when they were counting the ballot papers?
Ska the chance of Trini Bia with Yasin Pro. We are so said the election is say no said that me Kasim said ya we see every 4 years we are do.
No, this must stop.
Ska
no,
it was
it.
Yeah, for people to conceive easily. First now we are about to us by Debbie. So say trend that no. Because Obia person justify say oh yeah me.
I don't know. Okay, sound kwama wa. I say koko football. Right?
The second kwama we are
I want to know.
Oh, that's
one
I know the figures in the entire move 300 votes to baby.
Okay,
it's still reading
why
figures.
Is it certified? Are there now sign? Who signed it?
See, that is the technicality in this thing. Okay, the cross examination the echo from the EC officer or coming in way after the counting now. No one can say the rep have to sign. Is that correct? Or say yes. Or say so or signing on TBBSia as someone indicating. Bibi say I deal with me sign my sign send you a bibi back. Name no.
Bibi say
with the Maximus no. And yes, sir, and the man and yes, sir. Neither who said Bibi sir, but come here. Also, the most innocent regions are what they call in who come regions needing for the police stations are the national. BBN while they could be also said, you're challenging BB also, especially as a region.
You know what? Well, because they say, you know, this is what it is. During their campaign, their candidate, then candidate, now the petitioner, did say, when we near the election is rigged.
Yeah.
And that same thing happened right here where we are in the US.
Yeah.
The former president said the same thing during the campaign. Yeah. And when winning, what happened?
I'll see if you know. All of the system recount out said to be okay and baby and sound.
Is it not the same thing that we are seeing in Ghana right now?
Oh yeah, so a monkey see monkey do. But the thing is you would say almost has a form of election a different from Ghana. But I say Ghana is different. Indeed, to say I had your command so maybe a letter, you know, maybe a Kabia man or the senators no at work on the other. Ghana is will be the better between two better 150 now I put us to say what you put with you. But the thing is all this process going on is something to justify say you know mark of OP abontain protesting and what is no I am passing the oh, but I feel say so that you know we all see what's going on because now I'm a conformity free say the message now echo out no I am the correct. Indeed, say the process on this in the course is coming. Me tell me to say I said you want to sound now we could be a lawyer crown. And he said, oh, and now the problem is a small kind of say a one national winner who say we need copy.
Yeah.
Even though the police station, any regions in the way that copy, we need copy or national. Even with the national, the NDC can do the calculation. No one who say, yeah, we need, ubi we need, but. Still, Scout Mason says the VST and all my Yaman and Coca, and Tino, a beer, Okana Kawasan year. In the boat, Jesus said, no, 2 winters now, Abano. Scout went to me, my who said, Obiaba was a ranger, and a pussy case in the man. Until already 18 Monday, Oba, near tea or statement, and near tea, said because says, you know. Debate I could say the first and the second respondents on person which say or mama because say or more file written statement you know or man funny the na come and the actually when we do buy we a friend of the statement number and then the statement you know is filling the gaps and then the errors those two you know and the committee you know now per say the statement you know it's me affiliate to the almost they were changing about almost I think 23 paragraphs. Among come once a different day protest but I think the 5 of them was just removed from the witness statement, you know. We see what's going on Monday. Now Monday which is a process they say I feel that courtroom because they say you know I had the EC against or no. Obi ya tattoo against James. I want the grand finale. wanted the grandfather. I want to Champions League, finance. Tell me there. We defense in the Nasa o strike and then we are at the
I'm crying Budada. Maybe see your quote lawyer, Ndc for a lawyer, the petition lawyer, no chachu, and was some kakra. Then, now you judges no questions from the first respondent and the first witness and the second witness, no, ye be play, nina, na ya to answer from there. But to me, it seems like they have no case. And I know
I'm gonna make a case right now, no, because the case, say what? Or they don't know the figures are there is, the chairperson, I did declare election.
I said we keep going back to the same thing. They don't know the figures are easy use and declare. They were here normal sign. And normal sign are easy to use.
They say that after those are the move can they want all the figures from the polling station all the way to the regional, even to the form 13, the sample sheet. Now, now it was funny. One of the judges asked the councillor for NDC, which is Tatu, Obusa said, or say to compare the figures
Okay. 2020. When? This is a question only one person in the world can answer.
Mr. Chikata, why wouldn't you limit?
I'm sorry?
Why wouldn't you limit your references to the EC to the office, the chairperson, rather than the personality? It seems to me that your attack is against the personality of the person and not the office. So we'll be happy if you just limit it to the chairperson of the EC, because in her absence, any of the deputies, anybody at all could step in. And
respectfully, my lords, there is only one returning officer for the presidential elections.
And that
returning officer is not the EC. That returning officer is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
Like that. Chairperson, that's all. We are not interested.
The chairperson has a name. I'm not able to mention the name of the chairperson. No, my lord, respectfully, I want to understand. Am I being prohibited from mentioning the name of the chairperson? Is that the issue?
Reading through your petition,
yes,
as to the instant application, the constant emphasis on the name. What I'm telling you is that we'll be satisfied just with the designation, because in her absence, any of the deputies could act in that position.
My lord,
so if it is an election petition and you are challenging the election of the president, it is sufficient that the institution charged with the responsibility of conducting that election had done their work, and the chairperson, who is the head, represent that institution and not the personality, the name.
My lords, with the greatest respect, I believe that the constitutional requirements regarding the returning officer and the particular circumstances that we are dealing with in this case do not make it possible to have the situation that you are envisaging, where somebody else steps in for the chairperson. Respectfully, the Constitution makes the chairperson and only that chairperson the returning officer. And in the circumstances of this case, that chairperson happened to be the person that we referred to in the petition. And that chairperson actually was the person who undertook her responsibilities in accordance with the various constitutional and legal provisions that we have. So, my lord, we do not mention her name by way of targeting an individual. That is very far from it. My Lord, when I cited before you a decision of the Supreme Court, and I cited the decision of Justice Gbadegbe as an individual judge, he read a unanimous decision of the whole court. I did not target Mr. Justice Gbadegbe when I mentioned his name, because he happened to read that judgment, which was a unanimous decision of the court. And equally, I do not target Mrs. Jean Adukoye-Mensah when I say that she made the declaration on the 9th of December. It's not a targeting, it's just a fact that is material in this particular petition.
So thank you. You may continue with your submission.
And that is why...
All right. So that was a letter from Mr. Chachu Chikata, the lead attorney for the petitioner, the NDC candidate. I am lost here. I don't get it. Maybe you'll be able to help me out.
Scott, when you say Kotokone House Bobo, Kotokone House Bobo, that's a refugee parent in my house. That house Boshe, it be I in the pond, I come there 1 minute. That's a refugee parent in my house, that house Bosha. Once I told her to supporters who ye, I mean, how supporters who ye, and Marco to comfort refugee. I told her, Obiaka said, born in the neck draw. There's a refugee no and Jiparat need dear and car. On one year, the baby mono. And can refugee not Jiparat in India, Naka draw. Naka refugee not Jiparat in the neck, someone, and a refugee Jiparat in my air 1. So, indeed, Kusha said what to born a dear, or not quiet in 1 year. Now the draw cast when it Jenny, and then I'm more bass. Indeed, Skywalker, beginning of some a year proceedings here. In fact, now NDC for Obia Kasa, NDC Libya Kasa, or more MPPs and more MPP and as a Kufuado. Who purchase over MPP a Kufuado a dear, no Kasa MPP, a Kufuado any easy a real. Then no, so Kasa Nipa, Wama said Abato, Apoti, or Bobo Guswa. That's a Madame ECJ Mensa and at this what you say dream.
Nice, one year baby mono, right?
Only baby mono. But what the judges have to let it go because it's debatable. So debatable because Scott what all the cross examination of Mokan. What you say the petitioner, the first respondent, the second respondent, the petitioner. In our we entire semuno, nipa onino. It would tell the judge in the Canada. So what about say the easy person in the hall? That's what we be saying and name one. Anybody can represent them. It address the court like the easy, and I said. The first, responded. They who you nipa who can wasp. Every time I say easy, but the thing is that they just have to let it be so that argue and those things, then they proceed them. But I mean, irrespective of so but the point of dragging the whole thing was too much, and then I felt something the way that it's like the argue between the judge and Tachuno. Now I said the trend now let's say for now a whole lot, so they just have to let it be.
Well, okay, Yanko Ghana na yani Kwame Ejenumbuate Enkasa. Ebio no betumi aboa me kakara mate maybe I see from the. Hello, Kwame.
Hello, Emma.
Apomu.
Nyame admo na mons.
Nyame adom. What's mean her? All right. I saw Okasano we trick a crab into Mr. Opposition who ye kakrana yentoaso.
Okay. After what mean kay?
Yes, me too gay. Ghana boko de.
Me that's pa.
Ghana boko.
Nyame andom Ghana boko. You say be do Ghana and send me no a dear the nchechipa ay COVID-19 and Supreme Court. Ni mi na ekoso Ghana no.
Ene na ode bancha bebo eno ane asema ye that's why ye ka ho asem. COVID-19 ya ka ho asem kakra. All the restrictions president they attack akwemu niema wabande reaction I war how to say how are the citizen taking it because my two complaints be about mu we year and come be no o my show mu date dada mo be I did this restrictions na ba no what is their reactions
Me that's me niaba as I'm penny crack can't whether that say if na baso ni edi in a car air console na yebo ho nti say me can do Ghana hanoma senye COVID-19 na Supreme Court ye sha say free COVID-19 ni ho komo ye kodi bronya ibaye na answer kwa ni kodi bronya na COVID-19 o pompa kodi bronya ibaye ko to abawie afedie COVID-19 na man ho so twa ho fe say adoye wi musie apanikiri na say oka wanu oku na eno na mpenimfo eguso omo ye nhye say be beboa na etimi aso yade no ano so bedu Ghana hanoma enipa be say aduanan hanan ni aduanan 440 ana on ewu COVID-19 mo ana active cases no and so the number say empimun stiani ediokunu na say 6,000 and over ana omo active cases ayade ni bi omo jemu na cumulative cases no ebrum pimu adius 60,000 ya chese Ghana yakwe nim pa and I'm so na other Ghana man pani agency impuse ka say me home for any videos ni ma hwan da crap na eno no do share eto ayi yoso api ayefro ene ade na on say eba ayi na nkrofo kasapa ana wachire mu say misramo ayi yo no de o kan say obi wo ho na yi na cha fashe Benzo ye ne homecoming ene kakraka chepe hono no kotopo ne ade no se debi eno no se mo bia nyina emum omanfo betimi aye private burial na sa private burial no ene kwan se edom ebekọ no ebru nipa no aduonu enum 25 ya ene enhye e bae na e bae omanfo bo fu papa titiu wana omo organize events na se event organizers afi omom de defunu ana mo tonfu na daka ana efunu ho accessories bi tonfu ho accessories na bi tonfu ho accessories sa for them dia to just omampani amom nkai na nka bibia nie kro omampani mo nye yi na otwe bi nwie obi ho akodi dwa ana jollof wa no ma ase ahye obi so akodi dwa ensa ne ade ya om de be yie om da sorry as wo twa yim ana obi ma fa yo omampani pa na sin nyan kemfo ano omampani kirem a we eye me betimi aboa na COVID-19 no a ene ekame ese edi omanfo na kwa kontonkro wi abada mansan nyina akomo no Ghana nso etimi ade ne ho ede apri ade ne ho nti obusa reactions e ba de a omanfo bo ofu papa se omampani kra ko mon kaye no monye yi nwie ansa na ode ehye no aba nenso preko pe de hye no bae no omanfo chimo ma bo kapa na like for plan yo muso ese bae no ebuna daka ne ento na nya asam zo a ento funa daka zo anke esu ezo nyina ngofo musu se funa daka ne ento
wow
ndo bantini wow mo hwe no nye bibi mfa ho enti eno ye wona tuntu funa ne bo anan kwa asafo ne ade na nya asam geto akra enti eno de ekoso no o de no so eto nchen a e ba nya nkrofo bi kika sa omampani na o the restrictions ba na sorry so asa fan consider maybe etwam na yen kwa sorry no eno na asofo bi so sorry pa Bishop Charles Ajinasare no say obi nim no dia na asem ba asɔre so adwuma mu dia sɔfo bi de obedi omu Ghana ha no yasem ketwa we free say COVID-19 ba ye wo hwɛ eku omu di so pa e wona wa asɔre de we wona wa asɔre de wi a ukodwuma abo ba bia be ko bia nya papa enti no so mampani nim na se ene yi omanfo hye no kutupa na odi wo hye eto asɔre so a ene o mpene kra omo asɔfo so be sɔre akasa tia ne ma asɔre no nhye wo ho ne se wo kɔ a wo nche wa kyekra don hwere mienu also pon enya afa na mokɔ sama mo atin fifiri president worship obitimi the best don hwere miensa also there bi ni kwan se kosa don hwere mienu na ma pon o san de futu ama Ghana fo nyina tichi asɔfo ne se obo nyina simpie so a on tufo enfa COVID-19 ho de bia na obeye Yesu be se en tufo enfa COVID-19 se de be ya enkofa oyi na bia ma enti obu se COVID-19 ho nsam ne de amafo bebrebo fupa ya enya asem ketwa minisa se bisadu ho ha ebi ne hodi na Supreme Court
ma Mr. Sly was in bisa COVID no
e ma amafo a ehwe parliament.
All right, I'm Mr. Sly or question what COVID no right.
As can be bisano I school some no I mean answer Ndc can say co classroom a we fe wiane ne sano mano I didn't say na bia abane bia to especially in the classroom na bia born na kwara no ho meti ne sano me say bi wo ho say bia mo classroom be 2 hours a moment travel 30 minutes and in and out bibi sa wo ha and I said they say the first day go school no got 3 hours more to break 30 minutes no asa ko ne sa na muda so ye no
School nsem no de akwaya de kakra ni nyina agina akade ya eni aban be gina so de ahwe masa school hyehyɛ na akoso ne se ntie ne se ba yakra no Ghana education service ye nhye no chirimu a edi kwan se classroom bia no mo fra no ebro eduasa ayire so eduasa no to mo classroom nso na me se school no omuni adan ni ade nti no obekɔ na bi ho ma aduanan aduosia ebi okra oha na omoti classroom ba ko esua de eba school so ho ni bi ahyase ebo ho ko bi tse opoko basic school a udu ho na akyekyerefoɔ no ho na ne awofo na hye o ma bo tent e de ama mmɔfra no o ma kyekyem sɛ de be ya sɛ de aban ni hye no ba ya no o betumi ahwɛ na aye adwuma na omu ni sa aka de ne sa ahoɔden no de ekɔ ba bi sɛ bebe so ya eno ewo check important ho no ma obekɔ no bu ha diosia no mo classroom ba ko ya akoyo hawo enti se school se no de o man pani kan de nso na sa aka de ni kono school dudu no a na omuni facilities am betumi a chichem se de be me fa ho be hawo mo na bi nso ya contact hours no eno e mo fra no tie so o ma omo lower primary no ana o tie so ya ene o kire no se nkra no achekra du mi no na o ma pon no bi akofie akɔkyerɛ se agina home na emum upper primary ekro no de normal time na omo adisua de no a eno a na eni eye omo de eye adwuma na we kro na beto dwa se na tie nche bi on se lockdown class na COVID-19 ya ka na me fan so na mo kyerɛ se ye kɔkyerɛ afie no ene nkra no siwagedem enkra no kosi o magedem pa ma oba santimantem ha no ma enkra apem ahenu ene aduonu wɔtwe 1228 ana mo konye mo ye ya nya sam keto akra okọ lower primary and upper primary free class 5 ecosi class 6 na enkra 128 ana nya mo ye okọ senior high school kra dia buburuja okọ junior high school so a buburuja omo na kika bo mo a omo ko 1120 which is best and handsome 700 ana omo so junior high school mo nyime wa santimantem ho anko enti nkola mkonye miano no mchire ma he nkola no maye nkola bone papa say tifia COVID-19 lockdown ma lockdown wo o ma lock o ma yasne down ana mu nwan no sa wi ase o ma konye nyem ye no so akoya asem enti COVID-19 de minya sla ni sika e ho nsem ne ho ntansa de aba no enya asem ketwa enti onna mu akoda bi the fry ya pin a me ba chonye balloon ye gu ahye ho ana nye ball case 5 ana ya chi ahye ho no de akonye ai wa kujia bone enti eno so yensema ho bi fa COVID-19 ni school
na eno no rape cases wo mu ana se awofo na o man tintin kola ne ye na nkola na maso edin na ma this issues aba
we dia enwemu ebeto dwa girl child education efa ewo Ghana education service ye wa santimantem ha anam de baaye we dia nkoba se ya yire obi ni afa no
ba na nkranti fie mu ni bibia ye ene ye bo ho no watada ho okura mobile phone madam fo esi mesra no ne ade ana ebinim akodi omani a enam so de sanyin sen no aba we ye nyese bia wo hye bi ne ahye me mum oma ana akobi mu ne mu a omakofa sa nyinsen ahodo we e de ato won ho so.
Wow.
Well, me must have big kakame pachoska about fees. On se say the Ghana be take advantage. About say obi anya ya ni bi na sabe ya de na hospital na yesase testing po. They make sure say when ya ye na de ne isolation. Omo amufra amano ne ya bedru Ghana yesi Ghana 40 mo 50 I want 150. America's canon. What to report to be just a brano, a be a fashion butuma, or Marcasa de Yomope, and Nasa Senia, or Mapenica and San Ecoso.
Medas Minia, COVID-19 on some day. Edney. Yenya reports a hold to be bra, a boo honoma, which rema, ever call airport, or testing now, or tested. Positive no I'm catching on coffee for no on turn on passing the way opening bad obey all the 2010 feet so there's no man for 80 what listen to China was another me catch us mortuary workers association almost ya dini come na Kofi Jordan and a church for a casa edema woman I know they have to just say hey doctors be out na ha no mo thank COVID-19 no obi enya bia free mo no also doctors na chest and COVID-19 ku na ko mo amusie emu ayenhye na say come much review na ko for however doctors need the report ni sie omo ne busuafo ni hia no the report na sie na ade a COVID-19 akuno obi a COVID-19 ku no so mo hwe na ko mposi no de abeto mo kire ho na mo kire kesi no eye ho adwuma sa no fa kan obi bia sai omo nkofo a won ewu no tinam so amode abeto dwa ya ode ade hye de to mpanifo nim say won hwe no mu ntu ho anamon ebi airport so do baby akataso mu aso ne ade bebre mafo chimo mo kwa bu ho no ma COVID-19 onya bi crot mi report ku fashion no dia fem no na esne no obeli fo mafo force ne abona ba say onya COVID-19 so kan ya emran say ye adwuma de enmene mu ya na say surface no obo say ye adwuma so ko fo ma omafo a omo anya osia hu ne ade bi wo ho ba chire say nya dia emran na sheda ye adwuma e wo mi yahodo bebre fa COVID-19 no.
Na yenyaniti say with testing fees na resorts na ade no so corruption be bribery in some abebe mu ho no so ehun some to say
me ba chobra bi mo asen bisa no
yenyaniti say testing COVID test no ehun resorts na ade no and so bribe and some any corruption ewo ho no so ehun some to say
a open secret na untimi nka na bebre na some kind of evidence bra ya the evidence no mukum krofo the only say nche bia kra ba ni betu bia say COVID test no Ghana ha laboratory services no bia emanye free na say o ya enye free na so answer na eno kra be ba no on say kan no untimi so ere preko pe nko say me aso mesiko photo ma ba mon test me untimi nyesa answer na be ba na say contact tracing ni ade akoso a nezo bu ho ma test no kra no eye mfa mra hye for kra de enye hwe so mra hye fo bia babonten say test no nkinim so ya test ni wi a ya ba odin anaso wa fra okukuwa mu MP odi na bo negative odi na bo positive bebre na besi ne omo ya test no besi na odi ne mai ti du be bia delay ni ade ebemu a chese wa opedi yi no ene wo kakra na de akọ odi kwa ntentem so wa na say unsaka na wokun so desitie and kitasha na brand e koso na so enam say obi antimi nkotwe maaye ne sede nya danse die bi nyina so no akwa ehu uyi say nkrofo bi omo anya personal experience omo abeche omo akosem e wo Facebook and YouTube ne WhatsApp omanfo atibia won hye da nya nyina so papa bia nyina so vanka ndi bi nya beska akwa open secret omanfo so guso ehwe e koso
right Yonko court case no 2020 elections no obetumi ama
I'll say me no akoboso yi ya tu abawi afimpin ene aduonu mu ana abato ko bisa otwe ne kiki betra so obobo aba no
oba we na MPP 40 go abontense no muji o mani a ye hosa na etize ndc post anda ye mus ye wiaye ye wiawa mun ko post stations de we nye post stations am Supreme Court waso no mtase mun ye magina anom de ko Supreme Court am ko ye justice anim ye bua na o se papa ye wiaye mo fama asem no bi atwe ne se mo de ko ye ye de kia ka case management no ho asem na o se mo trust no mu di asem na nkasa ti na no da o mo hyase ya o mo di asem no na NDC amanyoko no se ko Supreme Court man but that gentleman man yes a friend petitioner no ano yes say o dance phobia so be dia dance man say do kwa attend you ba attend you gina kwa no ya dance true dance true do no etino do they can go esi do nketia na ora jonsi esi do nketia ko tena dwemu ani abato komisa ano lawyer oye Sanso ana second respondent Ghana man pin na nata ko kufado lawyer akoto ampa lead counsel ono so etoto na no na du ba bi na enya asem ketua unim lawyer to akoto ampa ti busa ko sa no na se ketia busa nse na o se sei was ya be ma hwemenim ne nkasa me bete me busa ewie be ka chem se o se sei bi eni ono lawyer to akoto ampa du ba bi a
Kwame Mr. Position who you
kakra du ba no busa se ketia se o si ewie a
Hello, Kwame.
Ali?
Yeah, position who you kakra now online in break off. Right, I think so. We've lost him. We'll try and get him back on to finish the report now. But it's like COVID didn't samaba.
Sama yaka se yedia betu. Skami se COVID se game anga dom na se ijirawa kwa afimiru miensa. Abonsa ya bin besi no.
But Kwame Asiaba so ye mane enwie. Hello Kwame.
Kale?
Yeah, mpacho to asumame.
Entina mi guso kabra general mosquito ekotena dwemu na wodi adanse ede ama ye petitioner no na ebra ekotena dwemu anana omobusa no se osi ewiawa esu studio be na wo a enti osi ewiawa figures e kra wo numbers e kra wo okay tafisa dia omampeni John Dramani mahama wo kasama no onya sei hama de beto dwa se bo ye ni se tumi no ya bato komisa nkwa na otumi se obebobo mana no no aka Ghana fo ate o se se ne sisa de a ade na o se ewia fo ni aso bra o se onyi nyina so bia ni mo bato komisa ne nsem o de baaye no na omuhunu se omde Ghana fo nsa hye boas ni nam so emo mo kan sa system no ene mtoto na no bia ana omo ni free eye honomam na ansa na no na NDC amanyoko no so nche bia mo asan e de krata akoma eye Supreme Court no sabe Supreme Court no emma abato commission won hye no na pin sheet ahodo the figures ahodo quality no nyina onfama na oma NDC fobi eje hono koye twema mentwe kakra na no ana Supreme Court nyina ko hye no omo nyina adwin ko benkrum die friend unanimous decision no am de tu dwa se e me no kra kire se ansa na obesana obi abenya pin sheet ne bi enkrata ahodo die da the figure we ne yekoka ne nyina ama yekono bia obi enji se ne omko hye abato komisa se won sanfa from ra na omfama NDC amanyoko na se nyemra kwa so
na anya bia NDC fo no Kwame anya bia NDC fo no mo pegin sheets wan
eno aya adia na ores tiediketi akra kwotena dwom no mubusa no nenso ho no won hia fa no ye bi ama se omo pegin sheet no mo obi anaso mo nibi anampo se omo di aba o se he 2012 election petition NDC NPP for them pin sheet koy eno no mko kan wa mo ma so make pin sheet wansam mo make kan ene se aba no enye NPP anwene eno mpese Supreme Court come on enje ko ba ye mbusa pin sheet no yes NDC for no twere kura koma Supreme Court say enke be ya omo nhia abato commission na on fast records ne nkrata no nyina amara abato ko ye Supreme Court nso ebo sa ensem no edi egu ye ya chese eno
the ebra coin and no. Na ebra Johnson as you get here every other came ape. Your toss me no babet now no so testify e dia dance pesa fight. Pesa fight so yensha so owura Michael pesa fight. Dr. Michael pesa fight. Ebra almost strong room ho no mo kenkan aba no hobby. Eba no mo sha se to tuna no mo sha to tuna no na some na beto dwa pesa fight to dwa say hey about to come MS lady wo mo na so da wo mo do musa she bo ase no musa ze dey ase no so hwe ebra buba to ne bubo so fax machine ni ade asay numbers no kromu any ade ana about to come catch me say okay zamon tia se dey monko from mampani da John Dramani mara nyen ne interest ni ensin konya nyen to ato adwans ana me declare o che so mutu a mutike no mutu se about to come say declare dem say frade ye e ja show sansachi na say o mokoya ana justice ne baako yes ene say owura pesa white so mo yes ade ya ma mampani da John Dramani mahama no se kwan be so say o ko say ko figures ye bebobo na hwe na bia nko ye e di so ma na da na wo dwane ko ana so opie ko na ekire ko boy na ma na pesa white se dey bi ko na be ko ye no because me ko ye bibia ma da ho find dem NDC ama yeko no e se me ko fro mampani da John Dramani mahama aba na ono aba tie bie eno da boa amemu ada ho fan a na e madwuma ene ekoye banta we kana we aka wana chachuchika ta sorry no so besre judges na say omo yade ni no ya no na say obi obedi adanse am ne client no en my form e jo besre o mpene kra ene omo kan ya na efi enti ase ye adwuma pesa white en so trans testify no na judges no ba ko e busa ne say o se abato komisa ka kire o ka kire o prebei wo no ka kire o afi de mbolo pesa white de duan kan kire me oka cheme nia rojo metal no na homes yo ene ne omotwi bia omtwon da ura na oma pesa white enso e free eye adaka ni ma wono so edi na danse ewie na odi adanse ni wie na yeso offense for nsa abodi ewies ni ewie and this focus so ha no kra no amusa NDC for say adanse die no ebi ohobiem anu nsu dwa say enkrata na kom jama Supreme Court no the Supreme Court be na be chesa adanse ni bi beba na se bi ma me kan krata o mo twere kuma Supreme Court say e be yanko hye abato komisa no mfa figures ni ade nyina emra no enti eno no na omo amakwan no enti no rojo metonunu enso eba betena adaka ni mu na rojo metonunu die no eno aye na no fiare ya esifiala na no fiare ya die na koso no ndie ndie na mse ebra na so ba bedi adanse na ho mfa no eno se odi adanse virtual na so testify virtually what TV achi abafo ni ya no na ansa mbe no e ho na lawyer akoto ampa sorry no ka kire Supreme Court ne se obese said obi ba testify ya Supreme Court omo clerk no ehwe man di adanse ana so di nse ka ntem so be ka no kro no o se bi sa akoso to sumo obi man free Supreme Court o rojo matunu no ne fie ana omo man di adanse o TV ni so ansana ene wonum so be testify na so be testify kra no ho ana akoto ampa sa sorry yen no the two just said witness statement na ene rojo metonunu e de bae so obegina so di adanse no paragraph how do bu ho so mbogu na paragraph mo bogu ye no o chirema paragraph 4 5 6 7 18 afi just a paragraph ne doso na ni nyina so de bae nyina ne se paragraph how do bi ho no ma e wo mu a sa afno be di adanse na de ne so NDC kire koma Supreme Court na boss anye na ina atwa gu se mre no muntimi makwan eso muntimi makwan de a na sa fe na owura rojo matinu no be ka ho asema omo mpene ebi ebra rojo matinu no e kire no o kire se about 20 figures ni ade bi onkoye ndinko pese Supreme Court na eyiba na sa about commission eyiba na Supreme Court mu bi na me sa application and this di kind of call ye na Supreme Court bogu ye nti no no se sa afa na omo twagu enti omo kwan ho adwea ko ba ni ade Supreme Court kwa asetena no omba no mbe yi bi e de free mu se de be ya ebehu.
Right. Seems like we're having a technical.
I was saying, "What trans dia dance? Nyamaso."
Yeah,
nyamaso.
Nyamaso.
Drada on the Oh, we didn't cut me. We answer this.
All right. Okay. Bonito for mommy.
Nyamaso. Nyami adma. next sitting no and a rojo betino no ebetena so na akọ testify or no strong room hobby into another testification and so be koso ho no odno to nchen ya o manfo kasa ma fo nyina o mo kasa Ghana fo nso kasa sameje video to just say enche bia bato komisa no kasa ba betena dwam na judges na lawyers na to na cross examination akọ so say be the papa be the say krobi to amamo e je no so ho no wa ko jo pom ma so dia to ja say NDC for aso mu nya sem bia ka o ma mo no mo ba ye ti ko ba ya so mu di sem no ko she hum nya ham into mu nya so mu tumfuto Ghana fo ni no enti mu nya so bu samia civil court nsem no ko so for one TV ye go so de kire ye ko so bia no videos ni audio ni ya kire ni ye be ma abusiafo enso atibi.
All right, Kwame, me da say. Mamim sasla is awesome. Bi se bi e wo eno ho a.
Oh, Debbie, I said the English can I will. I'm figures I'm more from Timo being. I mean, you say you have an evidence. Your evidence is you are not proving it. And only idea as I'm sabi asem can o ya sabi utia. Told me take one name in maternal because okay kusia o figures way, you know. They may much, you know, question the ask me
on that. Okay, me that's it. Like, Kwame, you better was no umre ne edwumapa odi ede boafa ya one metiefo ne ahwefo. Nyame e mana watwe foforo emrasum biem.
Mate ohima, me da masiba.
Yo, bye bye. All right, listeners and viewers, our lines are open. Opeso Fred, now do I drink ba Opeso contributing, you more than welcome to do so. Or within you were between our 303-800-6277, 303-800-6277, or outside you were subject to me afraid your WhatsApp line +17202381489 +17202381489. Imo kwa bado bafa one.
Mama do.
Yeah, mami, me hu mami okase. Ya mami Gladys. Ya tonka, ya jo so mami.
My friends Wabo kasa tido wate.
Mete ya pa na ye ntumi ma wo ewu ntimi da wasese wase ya frɛ.
Yo, I'm what to say.
Nyame adoma ye ho ye.
Yo. Beso kakra meka afa hone COVID-19 be pagana fo cheopa ni titiri ni adwadifo no obi se wako ebo bosia na be school fees obi so say ado owu a oye obi busuani chese ensem a wo mo keka wo mo nhye ayi no be sre wo mo who are when you be bushing and so whatever standing nipa bebre asana wo wune de e pagana for show for mo se wo mu eni mra no so no wo mu ni so na yare no enkoma ye na obi a honto no se yare no chewa bi no mo 3 days kwa wo mu nu na wo moko ti me de ne adesra me de to Ghana for ani election petition also you heard the erade beye say you 2013 and you go so heavy ni nyina sia ye benya suehunu bi wom na fe ye koto aba ni awanye ni ye no na waye ni ye na sunje ya bagana medi nyame jam erade nka mo ho amen
amen yeda wase so da ofre
na
odo wa dwentre ebo adwumedie no bagana fo nyina nyame nhira
Insira monso. Mama eduma na nkoso.
Amen. Amen. Bye bye. Well, what person Friday we adventure by you are more than welcome to do so. Yeah, twice so. Remember reports na dey bebre aba. Ye bobo bebre ho. Videos no so dey ye wo bebre anka mrema ho kwan dey anka ye de dodo na ebeba. But emerenti you better discuss with Kakane waiting on callers to see some called to bring their views in before I are sorry so asem ba kwana me pesa me kan ewo I think COVID ne ho back. I want to revisit a known biome before I say back to election petitioner ekosono it seems like most people don't take this thing serious. We're here as my mammy Kenya, a busy woman, you be busy, but say, Obestoriara. Sir Udo Nyonko, so senior Yamiasum is see a trainer. Say Yamiasum crana if you have a love for a neighbor, you care. Anna
Scobie, as well, could be supposed to be a centi. Or some must now, I saw Robas in a room be one.
I don't trust so well, but at least, yeah. And the vaccine, I'm glad you brought that up. Nana Kasanoka said by March, almost first doses said no come in, and they'll make sure all Ghanaians get vaccinated. And also, there are conspiracy theory going on around that. And let me tell you what, people do that and get paid, just selling you the false news. Telling you the vaccine is this, yeah, it brings out complications out of it. It drop be one side effect. It drop be and can't say a 100% immunity to any disease or anything. By a bonfire saying I'm boy home by. Yes, still no. If this is what we have to do to save life, ebi ana infia media amount no edoso. By area be betumi aba. I betumi atwa won kwanda so. That doesn't mean say God is not God. And you wouldn't have lived longer. Sanka utie other measures are koso. Na utie na supem. Na wo ye wa afemu die. Na wo vaccine na benyankwa. You get life. And don't just say yare no unya, but unya we pray say nyame be ma wa yare sa. Eso bia ni pedua the way it's reacted to neoma. And that is what I'll say about the vaccine. So I'll let you come in on that.
Let me start from the vaccine. Since when I will end Ghana, yes, not Ghana, Africa, you experience a whole lot of vaccines. Some are resource, ama ebimukura dubu, ebiya nyefra, ebiya wu, ebiya ntinya nantibiem, ebu oha, ama mental effect, ebu also amano, me can say like a whole lot, you know. When sooner vaccine winner aban the way people were preaching said a bit more decision they no call be or say a whole lot, you know, both the negative and then you know the negative are more than positive because positive need necessarily a you know the positive side of it. It just a positive is a wow. But the negative part of it, you know, is in the social media and people are preaching. And then there's another rumor called CSA, a Kosu. Say a duro no they call you could know a bibi mamu. I assume they were making for you. And I said they were Europe and I said yes akan. Media in penny for said in an account what's it 70 to 20 million vaccines. I know they call Ghana. 20 million vaccines, you know, Ghana population is all right. I don't mean anything. And this kind of mutaya a big young. And even if you come to reinforcement, the way the Ghana system and the economy is, you know, it's hard to enforce the vaccine on people. I get better now. Once I say you need to make us a man to be Walmart, to me Koto gas, to me airport. You know, like where movement ecosybiano, you know, without that the customer. Ghana they obey that. So that's my central marketer. Since so for like Jumo, we try to do so for like.
That is very good, but I
have to so for like so for like getting down.
Obi akono bad time man.
Obi akono. So that's my make market. So come, you know, there's a whole lot of market that people can go and those market that require entrance there say there should be a Osman be the security bed over to Mumpie this and all them term. It is a better thing, but the thing is that what we need for now is education to let people know the hygiene education is one aspect of it. It's the biggest, and then you go with the mass. feel say when we do these two things constantly, na say obia the tone who say me say me disagreement no so me feel say the rate of going up no COVID in the Baba from I had a report on was it yesterday or 3 days ago, even United Kingdom, almost say in the conform, which people are following the measures. It's not about the vaccine, it's about following the measures.
They are, but yes, still the vaccines are helping in some way.
The vaccine is going on.
Because I had to say, almost mandatory vaccine because people even it's not available to everybody. They started with healthcare workers, the essential workers, the seniors, and the bigger population. And even kwala mpo enka because data they are doing trial on kwala to see what dose or what will work for kids until the vaccine in kwala enka for now at the higher rate immune system weak. But yes, so that doesn't mean say COVID the variant now and then I'm cry more killer to kwala more. Which is really the data shows really high. Say so very more. Eti Nyayakano Yanka say vaccine will solve everything because they are obinye, shamask obinye. What vaccine now on ya? Eden obey.
So, I always say the patronum fathers who will have persona ekano. So be no do my alpha until no matter one no one. 7 be a one and a half and now on Samado until we to almost said. Until Scott, they tell us some of us were just preaching about the population now initially selected to get the vaccine. Once we are commenting and then we are talking about why the healthcare workers. Now, the last 2 or 3 weeks, the governor for you put one. And then he said now they are trying to, even though they still maintain that, because on the best, can you imagine, sir, even half of the healthcare workers in Kwambu.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Even more. More than half of the healthcare workers, no more. This is a debate because let's go to the nursing home, let's go to assistant living. You have people like 80 years, 90 years, 70 years. They are being attacked by this disease. What you say? Now, what will be our own shadow? Answer what we indeed, people the debate about say, why don't we address those people first? Yeah, there's so many more. Then, they want what later because Obi and what in 40-something years, over one, no, Obi and 70 years, our even the immune system is even weaker.
Well, I do know most nursing homes now assisted living a war. I'll say I'm in Colorado, so I'll talk for Colorado. Most of them, the residents, not healthcare, because in your mandate is so optional, most of them. That's for now. Colorado, I do know, say coming Monday they will be administering to teachers. Into teachers are ready because I didn't kind of why obi or Kaiser permanente yeah the line and mechanic nama a bedroom is so extra wa whoever say ade gold and a mujedro
scout say a lie yes or sorry or find bad and what could you so I call me yeah
yeah.
It's 2 months.
Number. So appointment and it's really lengthy before I do turn.
No problem. No possible. Yes, I can just say no problem. They need the amount of send guarantee say we
interesting.
Yeah, like people are honestly a lot of people are willing to do it or willing to get it, and then some of us, also, because of 1 or 2 things, some say their religion, culture. More understanding, I'm saying education, papa. Until no one and limit but I mean on the most serious note, like we all follow the precautions. That's this one. It's how people are talking about it, the way the world have turned. Scarce say will be Suarez Ghana comedian insurance also say there nyamia boa pa no de covid yaba abema omo no mbono ma de bi hwe ma de say yanti but on the more serious note, I mean, we able to control the amount of air na aircon. But like I said, you know, like this is the education, this share thing, but this is the secret. Osha, who you be that Osha would say, check a crash. Just step outside for at least 1 minute. Would you know about 1 minute to where you must know?
All right, we have a call on the line. Hello, I'm cover the for you one.
Hello, good afternoon, Sika.
Afternoon, Mr. Odini, baby, are free.
Your friend McPhee, I'm free Parker.
Yo, who knew about my name call?
Yeah, maybe bought when they fly a bus at the Bia Momaya news. And my TMT news and all they see it to meet here on the weekend near airport where you're my Ghana. Now, I have meant to Ghana for us. The president, Monshe Max, that's why you lockdown, Kakrabia, and also year before. Because me dream say be or dream hunting be while lock it down. And also, or lock or ban weddings and funerals, no? Because of hospital reports are doctors name because open as a winner. I almost person tracing
contact tracing
places are work for near the other. It's no door so none as wabania and also so yeah a before Ghana for officer and I'll lock it down wabani weddings near you. One totally one ban in totally and one so I say open so ye be a nipa 25. As so no Ghana for so Montiasi.
So be was any date. But be was any date or day we now were tutoring in Nemo Guhona, Sadia we have a boomer a hat again. Say Ghana don't know, Omope, a fashion parties are hold on anyway, you know, they want people to come.
I say coronavirus, Nanya deadlier. Inca, we are seeing now, or Bibrina, Ekra, and Bani, travels near the other.
So would you say
a war? It's no why you to turn your say over the year big parties near the other.
So would you say the ease now at the moment was a mistake from the leadership in Pardana because now there were a lot of restrictions.
Other countries near the or partial lockdown near there were limits of people doing stuff. Into no minim the Ghana for my mana a increase a buy in the debt near cases no and some normal person or more yet a lockdown and nasty because one would say other countries say yeah one who say or more room or more test you know be brain positive as so no now we near guso
yes a binding delay on that
for no more form drink. Because Nana and Yasusa, or more Becca say, I, Nana, and Dream, and Nana, you say, I didn't know the obey any public consider. I know, dear. Maybe I may once a while lock it down partially with those, because now one share max no. Because we share Instagram videos near the amount of post here. I'm on share. And also, this I won't be a power much answer. If you are the same as that, this all the force. It's supporting Nana, your year.
Why?
A full lockdown, partial day.
Full lockdown, and I can't say because partial no cry na. We put me who say a lockdown, just restrictions.
Almost wedding because all share videos near the crown pass still ebana. Almost nose marks, a domo finano. And that's why your nose marks and your mouth marks.
Many of my friend chin mask, you know, the chin that was.
Almost no, although also almost just also yeah, Max is any sense says so some young part it's to say no, Ghana for yeah, Ubeya ever stop.
Now, many into say, oh, more mention your home police chair mo and they'll be fine, right?
And there was some, yes, sir.
Okay.
I support it 100%.
All right, but I was really a sorry, many abba, and no, I drink shra or the abba, Yabi shra.
Yo.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Right, Sly. So
I won't need Edo because also Ninkasa, but I mean, you hear by kika. We are by a compromise, and as I buy a person will be like a dialogue president, and then people will put in a spot down to my phone do big baby. One crack your person will you to me because that you will become. You would be obey, you would be ma, a bear yourself. Oh, a bear yourself to the sense that the people who are party, they will insult you, big time. Oh, but yes, sir, I tell you, I got a phone call, this is some yes, sir, and I yes, sing that is, sir. Scar, so say, I'm coming to Nigeria by now, if you know, may a soft man. Yes, Miss Swapo, no. No swimming in a room this year. Or say, does it not say, oh, Ross, not say, I'll say, ah, my brother, the nearly came here at the airport. And I'm saying, Scott, Yamasa, want to put it is said, you see the Adiano or say, Yamotin cost as actually say. Now, one day, I didn't remember a Kawakini. A Kawakina, yet, but still people doing it. But today, Opa, but Ghana even ran a testing. Oh, so I will be do at my do suffer in that.
Wow.
But yeah, you shouldn't say, Scott. I don't know, a yard. I necessarily I can come in any baby cat. The reason I get about what ten Siska say a car send be now we are. Obaka me pano bulletin na ka bibi. And I say me pano or form or create and as of form bibi keke. But so when you tria and I will say yes. The nipper can at his
right.
You're very careful.
Okay, maybe I see her video way before I ask sorry. So court proceedings are called so now you mean an etofa ye my akanka so.
Yeah, Fatih to sum up in chief for us.
Me pamucho me mamunyi na amaha. Eye ensema honorable Kojo Ponkroma minister designate Eddie Abre no ehu behia say mebo no tofa wo akankasem na nenti ayepie mu aha ne no mejidi se wa wudi nsem ni nyina echi no obekan a eye former president John Dramani Mahama eno wasama eye electoral commission ena president Akufo-Addo ewo asenibia ha say abaye koto on 7 December ne bobo any declaration e ba ne bonyo so na sese no ne asem na kodu ni de beba na emom ye pese time mo say ensem na court no be kanyina omubebua niema num na ne edikan ene say asem a omatwagu petition no so de ababeda court no say wonyina so ana say ni nyina so ne etoso mienu ene say court ayabai abaye to on 7 December no presidential candidate no obi anya ohamu abupan aduonum ne achi ebio nso so court no ebebua say eye declaration EC ba panyima me Jean Mensa o declare no say ebuga na mrapon na say embu mrapon no na bio obesa bua say eye aba oto Techiman South abato mpesu aso no senka o the results no ebobo etwen bobo kan ho anka be yensa kiraye bia wo abato no outcome no ma na ne etwa to okra ene say allegation bia petitioner ne dia ba say mani bi o ha nkontabuo mu ne ye de kan obi de ho se sa ama no ye bua ne nyina se betime de ensakiraye bi aba abato no nsunsu aso so ana na sansemu num yi na enema ye kan o court ha nyina de wi a court no begua na samu bekan a na no ukuada a court no sorry asem no so no na ye hwe nim si ebehia na enra eye petitioner no ebo court no kokose nyame adoma na pai ombesa de odansini foforo abeka ho so obekan a ebra petitioner no file petition no obo court no kokose nka obefre adansifo num enso so asat ukuada na ye free ha say na adansifo na mu mienu pe na pe witness statement e by ne cross examination ayaye no maba enti sa kokoboy ehu asem na nka na pe ye ba betie sa dansini otoso miensa eye owura Robert Joseph Metal nunu na no asem na afei nso so eye electoral commission ne president na Akufo-Addo ma lawyer for enso so enya akwanya atoto na no nanso so yebepie mu aha na pe obakan a eye adanse a owura Robert Joseph Metal no ochrogu krata so ema lawyer for the bepie mu aha no na President Akufo-Addo ne lawyers a lawyer penyi odi anim eye owura Akoto Ampaw o say ensem ni bi wo ha otiem na edi enti na nsem na no mo de abeda court no so otiem na otiem free say sa wohwe emra na ede adwuma wa ha say na odansini na yayi no enyo no de na asem abeda court enti nke be ya ensem a wo de ba aba ana dance a ode ba court nanim no esese ye nsem a ewo fapem ewo petition na omode abeda court no na eni kwan se ye nsem a eni petition no mu nsem a na pleadings no ebo ebra na ebio ensem ne bi won so a eye omampanyi lawyer Owura Akoto Ampaw o ne mpanyimfo akuku da meka no ho ehun se eye nsem anka ene asem a ye kan emfa kwan bia so nanso so omo pekwati kwan bi e de aba be hyem na afen so say ye ka witness statement na esesen ka ye nsem a ye wonim dia na bibia wonim hu bia na wodi hu adanse enya adwenkyere na nsem na o matweregu witness statement no emumu bi so ye adwenkyere a ene mra no so bo ebra enti anapo Owura Akoto Ampaw etia nsem ni bi mu e ma court no so ma eye petitioner no lawyer akwanya mo no so e kan bi na ne court no e ka kosi ya ne say and someone na ewo witness statement no emu paragraph 4 5 6 7 any paragraph 18 there court na twam say eni nyina so ni nsunsuaso bia wasama ye bekan mu na no krampo nkyere say witness statement na aka na ye gemine da bi enam say afa na abeda court na nim na ye ade o magye so mo be ye ebehwa me ade ye adwuma nti afa na nyame adoma ejoada say a lawyer for first and second respondent enya akwanya ombegina sansem na Owura Rojo Metal nunu e de abeda court no ahwe so na omode atoto na no enti ne na court so court na mabọ no tofa a kyeremu no timedamase na general wa ha na kakra me pese me de ka ho ne se mo be kan a otime ho se adansefo a petitioner ne di kan from mo begina adaka mu eye Owura Johnson Esiedu Nketia a wono na general secretary for NDC na abaye koto ye no party na bane ne ho ne nkan ne bibia wona na edi mutintiman ene Owura eye Dr. Michael Pesa White adanse o mo de ba nyina the way na adanse no mu oha ne nti utimo se no na aba mu ho a eho abehia se omunipa ba kwa na aka strong room ho no atoko se so mo kwatwe ne begina adaka mu nanso so se wo hwe witness statement ya aba ene ya ene dada aba no ensonso ye bia nhye da ne musa eya asoma ne ye soma me ya no musa de beda court na abekan ya ebra na eye president lawyer penyi Owura Akoto Ampaw eye Owura Pesa White cross examination o ka che ne say unyo obi a EC chairperson no wotumi sa osoma wana sa ohyew e ma sorry free sa coalition center hono moko na sa asemo ye de pem no bo no wantima anyi ho achinyi oje tu mu sa EC chairperson eni tumi bia ode be soma no enti ye hwe anim sa nyame adoma ejuada e wo ye anim se ne dada ne ye no sa na we nso be because ye hwe ye hu witness statement no etisa sa wana enti nyame adoma ye gidi se a lawyer for akuku da momudi anim no ombetetim medam wase
well ye nyina ya suma eyeden ena obia ukọ repo party at this time we say ya suma into wa sorry ko suma na ya suma na de kude ni ntumi mfa phone nye. What is the technology? What is the use for technology? What is it for?
Scouting masam na suma na se suma na wasi yisi penyi no jemensa suma mo say some of omo concern omo wo regional resource no omo kwani mahama enko discuss but omo akase maame say Akufo-Addo awini and some concern no this is the also that me expect sir one of the lawyers no they will ask that question but easy lawyer no was it that certain Ketia and say I put it to you sir rap no I'm free EC officer because no only say petition and selection. I'm saying Okasa assemble a certificate and a certificate when you now Scar assemble some possibility a certificate interview cross examination. Scar, you will send the baby or say I'm not a petitioner. Who will send the baby or say I'm not a petitioner? If you are not a petitioner, why are you in court?
Yeah, why are you there to witness?
Yeah. Scar, all the Asama court, Scar is Asam court. Now we yime semi dancing here. Say Asam na all the court no. They want you be a mimi. Nima nim NSA. Ni hui e bako.
Mete.
Bake kai e bako. Mete e bako. Mi wo bi e wo ba e bako. What you say? Nti say nyina so we nyina ma a chere say bi you dance ni.
Yeah.
Na say ye busama sam na say ka say mintimi ehia no. Nemo no wo petition is so ya no 777 na kotam ko nyansa ni. Because say me gina ho say me di dance am. Na onni ho a say be yafa so wo fiase. Na asese me di dance say asema sisa da we e wo sa bia we na me ni ska me gina ho me hu se ska ka say ska anya hwe nemo mi panifiti ya no beto share so it was share so NMS ka say ene sa bia otwitwa no ho ate no ho ene ma nipa na bia asem we see
okay, so in this case no
but some case me hu na say you go business ska na nyansa bia ni enti no adanse awukodie no enti no makasa ase no say penfo no makasa enti o makasa emu oha na twikasa woska so bi kasa sebe wadwumu oha anasa asema kan emu oha na sebe nyansa ni.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Enti sanity enti obetimi ntia so kasa sebe wunim nyansa anase nemom no so ye kani anasantini na so bi kasewe no kasemu ha na se so hunu no anasanti asena na se nyansa ekasem na chino omu nyansa sembi o.
Well, so in this case no ne cross examination e bisa no say I'm not a petitioner no. I was a petitioner no so ba be gina daka mu ana. Is that what he's saying? Ni emi sa petitioner nankasa.
Ska also first in the court or some no na ka say the canon o dia asem kwa o lawyer in the dikan etoto ano nti nka o lawyer toto ano no abusabusa wa ba o lawyer toto ano ndo ye ne say ototo ano a de wo fa ba bia ubehu the other counselor no and I said the other lawyers no when someone bit my day ebisa na wa twi wa gines eso nti sa asa no wa dikan Canada enti so almost be busawa sa na obeka but ene ente sa ene no wa bi asem kokot say fa won sem nyina bukrata aso oloya ba wakase my lord ase we na nipa mi di asem no ma no wode abeto court na ni enti enkanti no obi edo obi ani enti sa wo better da kana ka sem bi ha wo ka ti say ye busa me sa white asem bi o say Osu statement also we were instructed. And after one captain said you cannot be instructed, or say you were asked. Oh, ebia statement no what you say instructed.
Yeah.
But ebia ka what say that can man ka remember oh that be asked. And won't me ya no be. It is our word, you know. When you go to court, choice of words no very 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 important.
Yeah.
Word be or why abonte obeka nka ye free say e look the same but court no dey mami ska word bia when ntia asemko former president nyado betima chan that can this and dance for ya intini nsem o kan no e say na dance for no nsem a mbetwero no e say e fa de die no ho enti say amfa de die no ho na e ko fa ba bia eno na ya na the objection to so there say we no enya emfa asem na ye ka no nsem num na mo dia beto court no ayeka ho asem eno na se wo de ho adanse eba enti se ho adanse na masa ense kotu yi free yetubu na ye ka de ejina asem na no na a lawyer for no betoto wano ni ehu se asem na wo ka no nukure ewum
eti ese ne se omututu isi penyina no a Mensa na say no no bechere say o ask our instructed them to go with that message, you know, or not.
Scott say debate. She say it's yes and no question. And the thing is Otuobi say unza say be yibusa witnesses no Mr. White by say yibusa say unza yibusa say worker say he instructed she said or Shawomo so free war now one for the chem they were trained you must say what one way to say. Yeah, I'm a simple of security. Which means she object to that.
Yeah.
It also a transport to Numua. Okay. Also I deny. And I will deny so to be for some coordinate. I said no, accept it. I deny. Oh, indeed, I read that. Neither said, yeah, papa to Casapa and the Casa Sudu or to Casawe. Just Mr. Rojo, a year would debate in Polska, Ucabes 1 hour. Who defended Quabe 1 hour something. Oh, now you'll be our super constitution, no, Sinis Anoman. Not do free, I know do I know do for another. I beg the because the graph and in the bed the power. Because you have here 3 days.
3 more days.
No, with between tattoo and I just said, about 9 o'clock now, you swim a mini here tonight to my neck tattoo started. Because tattoo started the amendments and a minimum of 3 hours.
All right. So final argument, no, I will be able presenting the last case, no, for the judges to give their final verdict, no, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So finally, no, I mean, Mr. Rojo, Nidiano by Monday now, or maybe me say Monday, me sure say baby Nidiano. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. So Oman San found another witness. I mean, at this point, they do not have another witness. The only person ever margin will reflect to Asante region. You know, say the EC judge, you know, he did mention that person name. Said they consult that person, and then Nipaneka said the figures is. And the only person I ever married. Other than that, you know, Ska Obi Adini Bebe Biano is not in the correction center. Obi Adini Bebe Biano. Once they say we are dealing with the party leaders and then the national correction center. I don't know who dealing with, but the beer you never know. They only to me they will be from the regional, such as the Namekasa Asante region, and I said the eastern region. No, you know, national Asante region. You know. Be a mobile beer among ba. Other than that, no, me who will be among the as a witness because Cassie say baby I don't know trying the airport. Look for beer 1 year so close.
Yeah.
1 year very close to some resource na be annual. One summer can obama send.
Yeah. To say that the way I don't see any serious because this is what I see. I see that the NDC leaders they've messed up on everything. Because we hear witnesses, no, some more can ways to say, you know, and yeah, no pony petition on the buy. They are more advocated from at some potia, mode buy said in Tina Maya court filings, no, they are saying a different thing. And almost someone to me, no, in Sisisu Mame. You know, this platform is a really big platform, but what would I say to our listeners, any audience, and say, when you come on, we're all grown ups here. So insult, we won't condone. Not here at Fire One. We are here for the truth. And we are there for the people. And the truth is what we will talk about. So what can I say? Now we follow this from time to Abano. What a course up till now to the court filing and date everything Nina follow, so we know what we're talking about here. And this is what we see from analysis. No, they have messed up and they have to man up and accept it And whatever verdict comes out, no, life must go on. We have to move on from this. But say NDC for anshasi advice say almost supporters no man shall say and cannot cry and now you back with this intro trend to send you see wo kromu heye bia. This will keep going on and people will keep insulting people for no good reason.
So also, I don't recall NDC have deviated from this. All this petition is. I mean, they're lacking something called the figures. The figures, which is the judges, and I would to be where's the figures? And then when you say one of the judges asked about the figures, are they willing to release any figures? He said no.
So
do you have the pin sheet and your figure? He said yes.
So where
do you have all the documentation? He said yes. So where is the figures? So now you want the court to address something. If we say obi 50%, but in order to prove is by comparing the figures with the easy have the income, even though if the NDC person don't figures crowded back. Quarter. It's acceptable. But what is move for figures on website?
Yeah.
They said the ECIM.
Yeah.
Oh, ECD go website. Oko MPP almost website. It can also form the most form of pinching up to website. People will do the math. They will do the calculation. Oh, you can't MPP and this for the go. You say ECD MPP and this MPP easy.
No form of the no banner your mama quotes no my treasure or Excel so office Excel and no my type no mama no de aba na mo sinama and no me who signature be our so say and regional eba no and aba to EC office yakani na abomani that is not what I saw for NDC most more pink sheets no so say mo wa and then more cost to say easy and sign family.
Because a press conference be after they selected some people be to do go through their pin sheets and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have that video.
They came out with some technicians be I remember one guy was explaining the figures and all kind of stuff and then they were saying the figures number one know what they is supposed to above. So you have all this. So why don't you prove to the court? Because if you have explained it to the public, what can we tell the Ghanaian public say? According to Kofone, where you for accumulates for medium share in calculation, and what's many way in Ghana mind if we are Samaya. You don't want to go with the fact in the
court because court near the man a
yes.
Yeah, we orchestrate now. Why you know? What the court then? The facts then of the evidence now. No, emrane ba be san ba be chichire wa wokon. This is why I see two different. As no press conferences omo ye ne nsem omo ka. And omo court dem on nso aso asem omo ye den omo ka. Because this is what I see. They are following the footsteps of the former president Newu Krumhan. And right now, on the platform of communicating, and this is where I see the messed up from the NDCs from because plan no more to me follow that no more so and this is where they are stuck at. That's why I'm going to say, "Who's be a papa na woman near Beboa near assembly bar one who bet to me you who free. By the same moment, the assembly of the cockot, no Maka Pemo, Bamosi is in and provided pink sheet. Wow, sir, Monon so a was some more copy of the sign pink sheets, a fee or all the coalitions of some more copies. I think, say, yeah, the Ejubedi and Bequeria. Na yamma nioma atwere ne atwere na watwe ebesimu no court nsema ebekoso ebeboni nyina ne asan de abedam. I pray and hope say next week in Yaba people will call and contribute and share their thought and share their ideas. Yeah, that call us a friend nyina say. Slide remember our final comment advice to our people before I sorry so. As
media message media see the court in some sequence. free sir, if NDC did very good in this election, I mean, cutting down from almost 1 million votes to 500 and something votes, which is a Jumakasi pass to gain that vote over 400,000 votes in easy. So measures are they put in place to acquire or to achieve vote. They can extend it to higher, to get rid of the rest, and even to the point of winning. But all this message, because we have, can you believe, sir, all what happened in the capital and what all Trump was saying and deceiving people in Colorado, they have almost 60,000 voters switching from the Republican to the Democrat, because they believe that they were deceived. Some of them so they are in between. Neither they belong. They say they are no more Republican. They don't want to go to their in between.
So they become swingers.
They want to. Michelle, I mean, you, my idea. But the way the court proceedings are going on, one train now could lose bitterly. I think, oh man, because people ask, into almost oh, there's a whole lot going on. Into they should talk and come and start their campaign now. And then by 2024, grounds no be so fertile. And then the baby on the but to be a bear. But I mean, if you go with this, all this would hear all the media stations and nobody says say the petition is a even some are even as on the first day, some even give the EC, lawyers, they give them 70% the higher of the case. The Messer said, after the, sittings, the way they talk to their people, at the point, all the systems they say they don't trust the judges. They don't trust the judges. The judges are not being fair. The judges are not doing. But after yesterday, when some of the rulings, I mean, they say what the judges did is right. So it's either way. And also judges the judgment is good because it's in your favor. Tomorrow, the judgment is not good because it's not in your favor. It's message said, you. So that, they are communicating to people. And then the people, because they trust, at the point, one year, once be a Canadian in the film. Yamfa training and castle, ABM Sukobi, a cosso, Yanum, a kaka, Yana Woodrum, a gasso, a haggling, mass at least Oceana Misha, Memo Hoba, and then no idea in nation. And so there be a Yana Mamu, yes, and human, and I make was because sometimes, intentionally, Sky did so more upon my dear say, both fruit to run maybe upon my dear, or dear, not in some washing. Oh, Yanka send me jar the pump, about room in sack, make me both fruit. Into I did you obey ya, and I say, ya, ye need my own so, name no, ya the fee and no car adrian in your said, I queen, Yammy and Nimra, so Yamre, shall say, who side over on sat the coil with Juma, and no ever bow crying nipped young by now, bone you every woman. Yan side, I said the numbers you wouldn't know, it be a richer and a question, but if Yan is also. In which a bit my perform. Yame more gun mine and more BBI, no more reason. The BBI doesn't neck if it's yet.
You sly, was say, no more. No, what I and a minor hodo, Nimunipadon, Tidauba, my dream summer, a cosso, a war mine gun, Yamin shroud. As my mechanic say, Donia so, Udonia, Unyane bonnet, Ubedrene, Ubeshow mask. No, so I shall near the boy of Humbai, restrictions are big nano, yen sum, yen in Kakaka, senior ya numbers ne call for me. Minim said this, we will overcome this too, and it will also pass. Na a year abacosem near the two, the next generation and so effort. Yada, ye shuffle, ye tearful, you say. Your crew US ha no more Ghana in Iramase, some ma Jumedian air possible. Mediani Sika, Yakram, Yawada Sende. Asafara
Everybody said that this is Kapapa na ye wa my Ghana. Adofo mo my yanka mo po na ye nyauto. Ye kapo mo Ghana be nyauto. Ye kapo mo ye nyauto. Everybody said that this is Kayo my Ghana dear friend of vocals. Ye mo my yanka mo po ye nyauto. Ye kapo mo Ghana be nyauto.